everyone, and welcome to Throwback Thursday. Today's Throwback Thursday will be very sponsored by Young Justice. Young Justice, the TV show that was so good, but yet Cartoon Network didn't know how good it was, so they freaking canceled it. And I would really hope that the thing that doesn't take its place, they didn't know what they had, and I really hope that the thing that replaced this one, I'm not sure which one will replace, because they brought in two new DC shows. Yeah, they put two new DC shows on, and well, you have Beware the Batman and Teen Titans Go. My goodness. Sadly, just by the thought, because the thing that was going hand in hand was Green Lantern animated series. And since that was actually a 3D show, then that means Beware the Batman most likely took its place. And that just sadly means that for Young Justice, Teen Titans Go, oh my gosh, replaced it. Oh my gosh. Well, either way, so I'm going to try to do a nice little rundown, and then I'll just give thoughts about later. So, I think the first season, it was basically, they were sidekicks, but they wanted to show that, prove themselves that they're more than sidekicks. And with the quote-unquote movie that they put out, aka the first 3 episodes, / their pilot, yeah, we actually got to see that they got to prove themselves. And the funny part is that if you do look at Comics Explained, you'll see when Nightwing was introduced, or when Robin, I think it was like when Robin actually went out on his own, he actually teamed up with Aqualad, and he teamed up with Kid Flash. What did we see in the pilot? We actually saw that team actually working together. Maybe that was a nod. That's interesting. Besides that, so yeah, you had those 3, and you also had Speedy. Yeah, it was Speedy, but Speedy left. Yeah, he just said, we're not going to achieve nothing. We're just going to be nothing but sidekicks. So he left, and we had a nice little tangent that happened to him, which was very, very cool. And sadly, I have to spoil it because this is a review / Throwback Thursday of Young Justice. So if you haven't seen Young Justice, well, sadly, they don't actually have a DVD of Season 1 and Season 2 out, but they do the same thing that happened with Spectacular Spider-Man Season 2 if you want it on DVD. The fact that you have to buy at least 3 to 4 DVDs to actually get the whole entire second season. And also, they did that with freaking Spider-Man, the animated series as well. The new animated series as well. Anyways, so you had those guys, and they were actually investigating this strange building. Yeah, it's a corporation, and it turns out the corporation was doing something very bad, which was like, but it turns out they also cloned Superman. What? Yeah, so they cloned Superman, and now you have freaking Carter. We now get introduced to Carter Kent, who is actually Superman's, we can't say son, but it eventually turns into that. That was very, very cool. But after that series, they basically decided to put on a team. So they have a new team, and it's, of course, called Young Justice. And I think Miss Martian was introduced, and now they have 5. They eventually get Artemis, and they tried looking for Speedy, but it was a dead end for a while. Well, anyways, the story continues just with the fact of we get more situations, they get more actual missions to do, and they find a new base because their old base gets destroyed at some point. So they had to find a new base, and their new base is actually the old base when they first started the Justice League. So with that said, yeah, basically the first season was just showing stuff, and also we later see someone that will become present in Season 2 because Miss Martian actually gave her blood to a boy, and we find out in the next season what happens to that boy. and sadly his mom. Aw. But anyway, season 2 came back with a shocking thing that happened. It's the fact of you have some alien stuff happening along with all the Justice League members getting taken. And we got the Reach. I think that's what they were called. They were called the Reach, and we also got introduced with more things. More things happened during season 1 and season 2 that would happened off screen. Like for instance, Connor and Miss Martian actually had a relationship together, but it went sour, and now she is dating the new Aqualad, while the old Aqualad is actually on the dark side. What? Then you have Nightwing. Yeah, Robin turned into Nightwing, and there's a new Robin now. There's also Batgirl. Batgirl is now present. You have Wonder Girl. I'm not really sure who Wonder Woman has as a pal, so I'm sorry, I don't know her name. Yeah, but we actually find out that later they actually have not only a supportive guy team, but they have a team full of girls and guys now. And we find out on the Valentine's Day episode, there's enough girls and enough guys to actually have like a romantic dance, or actually everyone kissed, and that wasn't even Valentine's Day. That was actually New Year's Day. Yeah, that was actually New Year's when everyone actually found someone that they like and kissed. But it gets even more complicated. Just the fact that the Reach actually has been doing some unbelievable crap, like they've been abducting people because they think they're able to manipulate people and get them to have superpowers, which they sure did. And they changed how Static Shock came to be. Instead of having boom babies, now it's actually nothing but the Reach had their hand, and that's what happened for Static Shock. And it was cool to having Static Shock. Static Shock actually was going to have a mentor too, which that would have been cool to actually see them both being mentors. Well, have a mentor-mentee moment. I would have enjoyed that. And let's see, is there anything else? Well, that's about all that's needed to be known. Besides, the Reach actually has taken over the world and pulled the wool over all of the freaking Earthians. Everyone on Earth. They pulled the wool over our eyes and made us believe that the Reach are actually good guys, which it turns out, yeah, they're extremely bad guys. Not only that, but the Reach actually has a massive invasion underwater. Wow. Yeah, so they have a massive invasion underwater, which is whoa. Not only that, but now we have Blue Beetle that came. Blue Beetle came. He found, actually, he was walking and he found the scarab. The scarab attached itself to him, and now there you go. And then it turns out the Reach actually has scarabs. So that was the amazing thing that they did, is actually incorporated Blue Beetle into the Reach. Not only there's a Blue Beetle, but there's a Green Beetle who actually was a Martian, and a Black Beetle who actually was a part of the Reach. And the crazy part was that the whole in mode part, the fact that the scarab was supposed to take hold of the user or of the host, and because of that, yeah, and we didn't even know yet. It was like that one episode where we're like, oh my gosh, is he in the Reach? Is he a part of the Reach? And then we get that unbelievable scene where it's like, oh, the green one was on it the whole time, and oh, but it doesn't end that badly, actually. How it ends is, well, for what we got is, what exactly we got was the fact of the final battle with the aliens, and it's just amazing how it went. It's just the aliens, and also it was like some kind of prophecy too to the Blue Beetle. The fact that he's going to become, oh yeah, it's because of Impulse. They also added in time travel. So Impulse came, and Impulse was the one who was going to try to stop Jaime actually getting doomed by the Blue Beetle. Because he actually is the one that enslaves the Earth. And because of that, my goodness. My goodness. So here is what's going on. The end of it is just the fact of they stopped the alien invasion. Thank goodness. And because they stopped the alien invasion, you also had the fact of to stop the alien invasion, they had to, yeah, they basically just pointed out everything, and they had a galactic freaking court, and they were able to prove that they weren't a part of what happened, which was a big frame up. Is there anything else? They also had lots of bombs all over freaking Earth. And all the bombs were found except for one that got super overcharged. And it was up to the speedsters, the original Flash. And then you had Barry Allen. And of course, Barry Allen was a part of it. Wally West was a part of it. And Impulse. So you had all four speedsters. Actually, no. Yeah, the original Flash didn't even take part in it. And I bet if they did, he took part in it. Wally West didn't have to have the greatest sacrifice. Meanwhile, I forgot to tell you just the fact of we actually get to have the story of what happened to Speedy. Speedy actually have been abducted, and because Speedy got abducted, it turns out that, yeah, it was kind of funny. Like in season 1, he got abducted, and then they cloned him, and that is the person that became Red Arrow, along with actually having a baby with I'll just say Sportsmaster's daughter. Not Artemis, her sister. Wow, right? And yeah, they were looking for him and they found him, and now the original Speedy, who is heartbroken. I mean, the clone was heartbroken when he found out he was a clone, and the original one was heartbroken too, and he became Arsenal. Yeah. But I'm just going to end it just the fact of, yeah, Wally West dies, and that's the end of season 2. Season 3, what was going to happen is they will reveal that Wally West returns somehow. They actually will have a way of him returning and everything coming back to normal. But instead, for right now, we have freaking Cartoon Network canceling this freaking damn season, this series, so that Wally West never comes to be anymore, or the return of Wally West never happens. Good job, freaking Cartoon Network. Good job. Well, anyways, thank you for watching and have a great Thursday.